I just know this one here, emergency response plan. This is the only one I know.
Yeah, that's very common.
Yeah.
That's one. Let me just get into Viva.
Okay. Other than that, you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I went to watch Jurassic Park.
Oh, did you like that?
It was so stupid. I could not watch it.
Oh, okay, then I won't go there.
Yeah, it's a horrible.
It's a horrible. It's not worth the $10, whatever
Exactly.
that. Yeah, okay. It's not worth 2 hours of your time.
Yeah.
Okay, I went to see Superman. I didn't like that either.
That was not good either.
That was not good. Let's say it's not worth 2 hours of my time.
So I'm trying to see. What we have is a site access work instruction, but I wouldn't call it
A security response, things like
yeah.
that. I'm more like security focused right now, so that's why.
I see you guys have a form, an incident response form.
Hold on, that's Alex.
Security incident handling procedure.
Yes, we do have that one.
So we don't have anything that I would call it public. We have a front desk operating procedure, but that's mainly for front desk folks. About front desk, when we say security folks, site security folks.
Yeah.
That talks about, hey, make sure that we have visitors that log in,
Yep.
where the packages, and do your quarterly inspections, do your daily rounds. But it doesn't have any. There's also we have something for cameras, but that talks about camera function.
So there isn't one place, right, or one section. That sounds right?
Correct.
That's my understanding.
Like if you wanted a badge, there's a badge access request form. There is how do you access cameras. So it isn't something that,
in one place. And this badge, camera, all this stuff, is this document somewhere right now in
it's on Viva.
Which doc?
It's called front desk standard operating procedure.
And okay, other than that, any other document that kind of may contain security, and I'll take an inventory.
Like a business continuity plan, but that doesn't entail. I wouldn't call it where. It doesn't say if there's how do you monitor a theft in the lab. We don't have those kind of things.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, but I also I don't know anybody else who does.
I think Abby, that's why he wants me to take an inventory, see what's the current state right now, and that's the one he wants to have a plan in place on the security facility incident response plan.
We have an emergency response plan.
Right, we have the emergency
response plan. Yes.
Okay, but we don't have at least a section or a separate doc on the facility incident security plan. Correct? I mean, other than the thing you mentioned, they're kind of scattered around. There's camera plan, there's a badge plan, and they're all documented in that front desk operation plan.
Procedure, yeah.
Can you send me that link, Shirley? Or tell me the number, I can look it up.
It is FAC.
FAC.
SOP.
SOP.
0005.
0005.
Yeah. But the audience for this is very particular because it is meant for the facilities team and the security team. It's not for all of Grail. It's because.
Oh, so can I access that? Would that be possible?
You can.
I can?
But
Okay.
you won't be trained on it. That's the only thing.
Oh, no. I just want to look
Yeah.
at the procedure right now. I don't want, I'm just doing inventory right now.
Sure.
Specifically.
And then in there, you'll see all the related documents. If you go down,
Yeah.
there's a reference document that talks about it. And those are all what we have basically with respect to security. There's a real site access procedure.
Okay.
Who has the authority to, request a site access.
Yeah, that's
Those
good. That's
kind of
good.
things.
So it's there. So that's a good starting point.
Yeah.
The front desk operation plan.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Hey, Alex. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. I was just, where did they go? Because there is no meeting room.
I know, there was no meeting room. He said he was going to grab
a room and like come. I thought there was plenty of room here. I was going to try to get you to come together.
But I was on a call.
I know. So I just come and just get started.
That's okay.
Okay. So just to give you an update. So I was talking to Charlene. So it looks like there isn't a formal fiscal security response plan. There's some detail in terms of camera, batching access, in a plan called Front Desk Operation Plan, SOP 005, and that's kind of where we are right now when you walk in.
So just to give you a background right now, it's like site security reports to me here. And when we talk about what he's asking with respect to, hey, if someone's going to steal an equipment from the lab, it is kind of hard to take an equipment from the lab and just walk away with it. We have badge access reports. Everybody, obviously there's a badge. They have to enter the lab only using a badge. You have cameras inside the lab, and you have cameras outside the lab. And you have 24-hour security staff here on site. So with respect to that, all of this is what we encompass as our preventive
Because
measures.
we cannot 100% prevent.
Exactly. This is our preventive measures, right?
Yeah, because we have one incident right now. We have a laptop that is missing from a lab. That is actually a real scenario. We have a big incident open, and so there was during the RIF, we had a laptop was sitting there. But that doesn't mean that we have security control labs. We can't put in front of every door someone with a gun.
Exactly. And now, let me tell you, during the RIF.
What's the RIF?
It was reduction in workforce.
Oh.
Yeah. So
okay.
So when that situation particularly happened, there was a lot of lessons learned and should have been documented because it was a very messy situation when that RIF happened. People walked away with our ergonomic chairs. They walked away with $300 worth of my ergonomic keyboard. And I mentioned this to Paul. I was like, who am I going to catch? There was no you didn't ask for security support. I was not involved in it. It was leadership, like Pavel was involved in it. We didn't keep security at every door. You didn't want it. You let people stay in here so they could grab what they want. They got nothing.
The way I did in previous company twice, we had a RIF, so we sent them in at 12:05 a.m. We told them, you're terminated because of reduction of work. You do not come to work. Anything you have at your desk,
would be
we will
sent,
put them in and sent to you. Let us know that we're missing something. It was still, but we told them that this is in order to make sure that nothing gets blamed on you guys, because
should have been done a different way, because this was definitely not done.
And I think that is the learning that we have to say how we could prevent this from happening in that incident response.
Right.
That incident we have opened, it is. But anything, even if we do in information security, it is a deterrence. It's
exactly.
Not
it's not 100%. Exactly. And at that point, we looked at, what was our loss? It was, keyboards and that we throw by dozens every day.
Yeah, exactly.
So our emergency, we have an emergency response plan, okay? That is what we use for all kinds of natural calamity responses.
Exactly, anything happens, fire starts.
Correct, exactly.
The chemical leak or whatever.
We also have a GRAIL site access procedure, which is, hey, how does security know who to grant access to? There's a series of...
There's approval,
exactly. There's a form,
right?
Exactly. Now, and then we obviously look at trainings, who is allowed.
Which we all take it, right?
Exactly.
In the Viva.
And during my new hire orientation, but as well as trainings you get, one of the things that we continuously tell people, do not let other people piggyback off you. Right? Do not, security always checks security. Now, security is a lot more vigilant in terms of hey, that person didn't badge in. They go and, communicate immediately. Yeah. There was a time where people just...
Yeah, but the new security system, we actually take it to design. If somebody tailgates, it will know that, hey, two people came in, one person, did it.
Exactly. It's kind of hard unless you have a guard at every door.
Exactly. But unfortunately, it is what it is. But now Powell and we have identified some of the lapses to begin with. Yeah. We are planning, when we are doing the consolidation of the site here, we will definitely, we have to bring a new system anyway.
Exactly.
And when it coincides, that one also in RTP to do the same thing.
Agreed.
We have one system for UK, RTP here, DC
It's too
office,
much.
and we will all one unit,
Unit.
and we will add this sort of stuff. But today we do our best, and even with that incident, we got
Right.
the cameras,
Exactly.
we just couldn't find anything. Could have been anyone,
Anybody
put it
could-
in your back
Backpack
pocket and
and
walk
just
it.
go.
What are you gonna do, right? Yeah.
And you can't have 100% camera access either. There's always blind
Sometimes
spots.
the privacy, hey, like it's a good example. I found somebody used to in one of my companies take the laptop, they will take it, when nobody looks at it.
Yeah.
They go to the bathroom or the locker room. They work out. They put the stuff there, and walk it. What do we do?
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm planning to do in Q4, we're gonna put a passive RFID tags on all our equipment.
So you can watch.
And
where
then
it
when
goes.
you watch them, we will have readers at any egress and ingress. Any that asset leaves, we'll just correlate
Yeah.
that one with the event. And we can also sound the alarm that where are you going. If the
Right.
asset that should not leave the building, we're
Then
going to make
where
sure
is
that
this?
we have
Yeah.
visibility. Yeah, but this is just to make sure
And the question is, at the end of the day, what information are we trying to?
So what we are also protecting, exactly, same as information security. Sometimes, hey, somebody steals an email, we do our best, but I'm not going to put $10 million investment, to get somebody
Exactly,
to do the email.
exactly,
Yeah,
right?
It is all.
Yeah, and I know we're getting, so for us, in terms of these are the things that we can do. We do not, I wouldn't call it that we have, I don't know any of our systems or policies unless you guys you're familiar with it. We do not have one policy that says, if somebody does report that there is a laptop, yes, if somebody says, hey, I lost my laptop.
Oh, you guys really work with IT,
Exactly, right? That's how you route it, and that's how security routes it.
I think what Danny is doing, I don't think it is to tell you you're doing it wrong or right.
But just to find out what we have.
Just what we have, that when
Exactly.
we get to this instant.
And we don't have that. What we have is multiple policies
so
that
that's
have
the thing.
multiple
We
walls.
identify where the gaps are, then we close it, right? So
That's my problem. I'm just doing it as is right now,
Yeah.
trying to figure it out and learning and see where there's a gap, then fortify it. So we tie everything up. Then we have one section or one plan
Right.
on facility. Just kind of.
So that's what I want to say. Even from a security perspective, what we have is multiple layers of protection.
Oh, that is why we call it defense in depth. We put
Right?
different layers.
Exactly. Different processes, different layers.
A
That
lot of
we're
people
protecting.
didn't know that we own the
I didn't know
security.
incident.
It's physical security budget as well.
Oh,
Then,
I did not know that.
Powell said, well, I don't have any budget. I said, well, you don't have to because we have security. Physical security budget is also in
So
SATNAM's
the
organization.
camera and everything goes.
Cameras, all of those are actually in part of physical security budget. Exactly. That's what.
But then I think our facilities team is paying for it.
No, but I know, but that's why. Then when it comes back to the, when we
Invoicing,
reconcile invoicing
uh-huh.
everything, we reconcile with the physical security budget to begin with. But that's why I brought up, Paul, that I've been also busy, right? I got converted in April.
Oh, wow.
I was an advisor, but for next round of the whole security enhancement,
Right.
that's why Powell, Shay, you, and me will work very closely to
Awesome.
identify. Because I don't want to do anything here until, because we are concerned the building, I don't want to do anything that's wasted.
Exactly.
But once we get the new consolidated building,
Then we'll know for
then,
sure.
yeah, we will.
Put proper system. Like one of the things that we always say is have good systems in place. And nowadays, I always say if we can minimize human error, human error is something that we're always going to have issues. So in the world of environmental health and safety, which is employee safety, I always look at put engineering controls in place or eliminate the risk. You first eliminate the risk if you can. If not, put engineering controls. In that case, it's more cameras. Look at we've done so many times. We've done what our blind spots are, but never there's never money to keep adding cameras for protecting lines. So these will be good once we know.
And also physical security is changing quite a bit. That's why every year I go to CES. People are like, what are you doing at CES? There's so much of workplace, related security enhancements, and we do want to really, AI helps a lot with people, knowing that who came in, who left. As a matter of fact, we see that some faces that they're not familiar.
Facial
I work in a
recognition.
company that, we had very high security because of a lot of threats to the company because of political aspect of it. So actually, if we saw somebody that, they had very good kind of facial recognition, we saw the faces that we didn't recognize. we immediately relay that one to the police,
Yeah.
record, and they will tell us if they have a background, they have an arrest background, they have a, violence background or whatever.
So that's
And-
protection,
Yeah,
right?
and
Yeah.
the protection, we right away then, that will inform the police.
Yeah.
And they will the patrol will come and say, hey, what are you doing here? Why in the parking lot?
Exactly.
What are you looking for? So,
We
technology
don't-
has changed
we-
quite
yeah.
a bit.
And
Yeah.
the question is, how much are people willing to spend, and what are the layers you want?
It is, yeah. That is all about about the money.
Yeah.
But does that cost justify,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
very low risk to begin with, right? As
Exactly.
a matter of fact, one thing I will do, I work with FBI security team here in Mountain View Borough. Their Bay Area Bureau is in Mountain View.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'll also see, when it's good time, I have, Mike and his team to come. Just, they would educate us about,
Yeah.
different threats, especially physical side as well.
We want to train people on active shooters.
No,
That's-
that is when I brought at Luna them for active shooter.
Really?
And it's just funny, so very active shooter, but
I
there
would
was
love to
somebody,
get- yeah.
there was an employee that, they lived in Gilroy. In Gilroy, there was a history of, shooting, somebody went to the
Gilroy Garlic Festival.
The shooting or whatever, and this person just had witnessed that a couple of her friends, get shot in that event. She just totally, she just did not feel really good, and she started, having a, anxiety attack, that sort of stuff. But we think it was really helpful because a month and a half, 2 months later, an employee, went to the shooting range, and then we came back. He forgot to take his gear and everything, and he had a rifle as well. Came in, and some people freaked out. And all he didn't want to leave his rifle in the car because it is not protected.
Yeah.
You have to have a position of it, right? And
Ooh, you're not allowed to bring-
it was really funny, but training the people
Yeah.
is really important. But that was, hey, what if it was real scenario?
You never, yeah, exactly.
We want to see what the people will do. We do attack them, they run away and hide.
So
But
I
it is
do
really
that.
good to bring those guys here for active shooter scenarios.
Exactly.
Training.
So I used to, my old job, we used to train with the SWAT team
Yeah,
in
yeah.
South San Francisco, and they came. But when we asked about it here, they didn't want to create anxiety. But I'm like, muscle memory is really helpful.
It
if
is
you
very
train
important, trust me.
people. So we have don't quote me on this because it's not a great program. Our training programs are horrible because it's reading an SOP. So it's called Workplace Violence
Yeah.
Prevention Program.
You see, that is my feedback with Viva.
I hate
By the time
Viva.
you read what it is, you forget it, you try,
I
you
hate
fail
it.
3 times, you still, try, to figure out.
Then why are we doing it? Because it doesn't. See, I'm going to training myself, right? I have 30 modules. I'm not going to remember everything.
So this is exactly where, I think now, what is it, Michelle
Michelle,
working with us.
yeah.
So I want
Not Tom Linden. I think Michelle
No,
Wilchen.
yeah. So I'm actually thinking that, I brought up, let's have a new look. This is 2025. There should be different methods
Please,
of training
Alex, help
people.
me because we've told this so many times from an EHS perspective that we hate this.
The
Viva.
IT is the same way. You think when the system crashes, somebody's going to go log into Viva 2-factor and read this mumbo jumbo document to see what to
No,
do? No
you know-
freaking way, it's going to happen, right?
It needs to be the word in incident is we need to have a dynamic playbook, not static. That's all those are
Exactly.
static.
And by the way, we are looking for some platforms those actually make it easier. When it happens, maybe broadcast the video
Yep.
to people's phone. That's just how
Right.
I did that. They can do it step 1, step 2, have a laptop.
Alert media
Yeah.
can, but again, it's the question. Like
I know.
everything is. At the end of the day, Alex, like for some of these things, like as EHS folks, we've looked at training platforms. We've looked at what we call our mass communication system, which is
Yeah.
alert media and everything. We always get told there's no money, there's no budget. So what you
So
can
this is
do,
when I want a partner, because it takes only one
incident.
and
Before
if
people-
it gets out of hand, it gets so costly. This is where I kind of I try to be more creative, as you said, layers.
Yeah.
Let's look and see where we could address them with lower investment initially, and then
Right.
enhance it as we go. We have.
Take a look at alert media if you can.
No, I have used them in the
Okay.
past.
Yeah, I think alert media can because they've send me so
Yeah,
many
implemented.
emails.
I used to have their PA stuff as well for announcement. And, you know,
Yeah.
sending it to their phone.
I would
you know,
say
whatever.
when we do our site or whatever the consolidation is, we should get a PA
No, when I was
system.
developing it, they gave me one of these PAs. They
Ah.
never took it because I was programming that sort of stuff. I still have it, you know, somewhere in my garage.
nice.
Those are expensive. Those PAs
Right.
are $1,200 a pop, right?
Exactly, they're not
Yeah,
cheap at
yeah.
all. So
Everything costs money.
I do know there's an ask for it, depending on what the future state is of the place. Then
So I really think that you, me, Shay, and Power
Yeah,
to look into
100%.
this because we have to, for consolidated building, we have to have a security posture to begin
Yep.
with. And let's just, you know, not to lift and shift something.
Yep.
Today we have it, the fact that we don't have a global visibility.
Yeah.
Each side uses different security
Exactly.
system. It is a big gap. I want to have a one system,
100%.
but not some enhance it with AI, better cameras, you know, biometrics. Actually, we are going to get rid of badges, by the way. Badges will be just for corner cases. I have been developing and implementing this thing called OpenPath. So this is my old card. I still have it because I haven't deleted it. Where is it? Anyways, so what happens? View the badge, yeah. So you have a virtual badge, this is an NFC, none of the Bluetooth stuff.
Okay.
You know, you walk into the building, and the building that or doors that you are authorized, it lets you. What happened to you? Yeah, so you see a list of all the entries and that kind of stuff. So I can tell where you are authorized to go, which site, which building, which doors. And you know, like when we had the RIF, I took every access from everywhere except front door. Now all the just very dynamic. I just say no. Everybody had to come from front door. Period.
Yeah, no side doors,
No side doors, nothing. You couldn't go out. It was a tripped alarm, and you came in. You know, you couldn't get in because you know doors were locked
Yeah.
and everything, right? But can you imagine how increased our operational, you know, overhead, that sort of stuff?
But okay, so now I'm going to ask you a question from a user perspective. That system is great for a person managing the security, right? But if I do not see a badge on a person,
Oh, so it isn't. So as you saw, I have like a virtual card, right?
Right.
So.
but
what
I
we do-
need to, like, so I walk around. I don't know if Danny works here or not. Danny has decided to walk in right behind me because it's not like 100% that people will not piggyback. I
Yeah.
know leadership that has just
Yeah, but
walked
that's the
in.
tailgating, you know, sensors are really important. You know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, I had on one company that because of it was regulated factory, for those people we had also, you know, a badge that, you know, showed their picture.
Yes,
to
exactly.
match.
It's
Yeah.
just for me, this badge, the
Yeah.
only reason this
And
helps
also,
is
this one could be nothing but your picture.
Exactly.
It's a virtual badge, you know, you can actually have it.
so you
to
can
display
carry
it
that
randomly.
badge. The only reason for a physical badge, it doesn't have to have any tags on it. But
By the
it's
way,
just,
Paul and Satnam, you know, they were showing them, we have Flipper, we cloned their badge and went and opened the door. Because these are not secure at all. I can literally, you know, I'll demonstrate it this week. I'll have my Flipper. I'll just sit here close by, you know, I will have it here. I'll just point it, you know, at your badge, and it will copy it, and I can go.
What
open
the?
it. Yeah. I can even read the credit card with my tool. That's why.
that's why they asked us to take out wallet, you know, your Apple
Yeah.
wallet, because a lot of people were coming by and swiping your wallet.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you hear that? Like, yeah.
So there are so many ways, you know. So these badges are very vulnerable. You know, anybody can clone it.
Okay,
They can be in a
interesting.
bus next to you. They can sit at a bar next to you.
Okay.
And that was the other thing. I was advocating we don't have on any of the stuff we have Grail name, because when the people see your badge, you work for Grail,
They can.
then they might be more interested, you know, to get into the company versus, you know, if they don't know where you are,
Yeah.
who you work for. That's why all this
This
stuff,
Grail,
you know, is really,
yeah.
you know, that, as I said, deterrent side, you know,
Yeah.
being
I know when I
obstinate.
walk outside, I was like, I don't like this, that it screams like the Grail.
No, I know,
logo.
exactly, yeah.
Like, you know, especially when you're walking, everybody's wearing their badges and walking
Yeah.
around. So,
So yeah, so there are a bunch of stuff that doesn't really cost money, but can
yeah.
reduce also the risk. Right? If
Yeah.
the people don't know where you work, that badge is useless.
Exactly.
What are you going to do with it, right?
Exactly.
And also in the badge, that's why in other company, the badge was just a picture, no information.
Ah,
You can
yes,
also read
exactly,
it, you know,
exactly.
You can just, you know, with Flipper.
You don't need to write all this big G,
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah,
that sort of stuff,
100%, 100%.
Anyways,
I like that. I think we should talk about these things, and I think maybe start putting together like a punch list.
I think so. This is why I started actually working with Shay and Powell.
Okay.
Actually, what happened, one day I brought up with Richard and Roger here because I was here. I'm like, because I always forget my badge, trust me. I have right now 2 sets of badge. One is always in my car as a backup. If I forget this, then I have them, they just activate this and deactivate the other one. I thought, but this costs a lot of money, and a lot of people, you will highly likely will never forget your phone.
Correct.
Or you forget your badge, easy, right? And then I got involved that, but I had already mentioned to Powell when I was in RTP, but Powell forget about it. And then Shay got a window of it. Said, "What are you doing? You don't talk to me. You're trying to change." I told him, I never said I'm changing the security system. What I told to Powell that we should look at the new system because they're vulnerable. I can literally clone anybody's badge here just by sitting and talking, pretending I'm friendly, and I can go open the doors, pretending I was them to begin with, right? And we have labs that are vulnerable. We are not. Actually, we are putting a lot more controls into RTP lab. You cannot bring your personal devices at all. You have to, we are planning to have maybe a locker or something. You can put your personal devices outside to lock them up, because that's how you can take a picture of stuff, samples, that are coming in, the blood samples. Those barcodes have a lot of information to begin with. We found actually somebody who's in billing. I don't want to name. Since she doesn't want to read the information, so she has a barcode reader that scans it. But that barcode has vulnerability. If somebody put a receiver or scanner, right there, anytime you create, it can steal the information right from the barcode to begin with, right? So we are trying to replace that one with a more of a secure barcode system, a 4D barcode that is more complex. You cannot, So there is a bunch of stuff, but as you said, we can't just boil the ocean.
Exactly.
The company is 8 years old.
Yeah.
Even a parent company did not really consider these things to be a risk, but now, when we had the mod for, a bunch of this physical security stuff came up as well, right?
I did
Who
not
enters
know
here? Who connects to the network?
Yeah, that's true. That's because it was But I think the thing that I struggle is like, I've been to bigger companies, but I don't know if we've had this much. I want to say walls, because.
It is just because data privacy stuff, say health privacy, PHI and HIPAA get me. One of the companies who lost people's patients' data, they got fined $50 million.
That's a big risk.
That is what
because we have patient information.
California has now this big privacy rule, CPPA. You literally lose anybody's information. They come after, and unfortunately with a California company, we just get subject to it to begin with, right? So that is what, US, if you think about, aside from being innovation center, also we have we dedicate everything.
Yes, we're a very litigious country,
right?
Yes, exactly.
And also, what I think technology changes. I see huge innovation in whole security world to begin with.
Yeah.
That actually at Microsoft, I used to have robots. You know how you have robots that roam around, they read license plates, if cars are not belonging to employees, would alert them,
I've heard of
We had the people that they brought their wife's car, but we used to have to always have the people register spouses.
The cars,
But this robot, it's roaming around, we pay them $16 an hour. That's what we used to rent them. But they will do a lot of really work, and sheer the fact that they were in it, they will even walk to you if they don't recognize you. They know the face of every employee.
Oh, wow.
If they didn't recognize it, they will literally walk to us and say, "What is your name? Who are you?
What are you doing here?"
And then, what are you doing? And then that take the picture, send it back to our security system, that in case something suspicious happen, we can tell. So security technologies have been changing quite a bit. That's why I know you have seen my drone. So drones are becoming really big deal in the campuses. People fly this little drone and look at for anomaly. if somebody's hiding behind a bush or a wall, that sort of stuff. What suspicious things it could be, right? Especially in the evening, when the
I do not like our sliding doors, because our sliding doors are not fast enough to close.
Yeah.
And we've got issues.
But we can sneak in. That's what the trapdoors are the way to do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of companies actually, even though aesthetically they're not pleasant, but they're putting those trap doors and this rotating,
Yeah. So I used to work for J&J. They had the what do you call them? The access door. I mean the swivel doors or whatever they're called, right? Yeah. They used to have those because they wanted to protect the site. But we had a vivarium. We had a lot of things.
Oh yeah, actually at Denali I had vivarium. And
you worked at Denali? I used to work at Thermo.
Oh really?
Thermo Fisher right across Denali.
Yeah, exactly. I worked at Denali. We had the vivarium, and a lot of people they were like animal advocates.
Did they get acquired? No.
No, they're a public company.
Okay.
I kind of, I don't know if you know that company. I really liked the idea of, Alzheimer's because my mom was going through it as well. But they're ex-genetic people. The culture of the company was just horrible.
Really?
For 8.5, 9 months, I struggled, to see if I can blend in. Actually, I'm a very social person. You
are very social, exactly.
And one day, I just 8 months later, I woke up on Sunday, midnight, before I go to work on Monday. I said, no, I can't just do this.
Oh, wow.
I sent an email.
Good to know. I'll never apply for a job.
Yeah, I sent an email that, hey, I just have tried this. And I know it's not me because I've been in many companies. I don't think I have a problem fitting in. But I don't want to, where I'm in my life, to really struggle. It's not something you need to struggle to fit in.
No.
They're not
not worth it. Not
fiefdoms of people that come genetic. If they're not part of that tribe,
they're not.
Talk,
I think that click is very hard. When people have a click, it's kind of,
But here it's really easy. You can just get along with everyone,
People are pretty good here.
Even the facility guys. No, and this is the other thing I brought up. My team will tell you, I'm always saying that, we need to innovate because we should give opportunity our teams to learn newer technologies. Because also at certain facilities, getting stuck in old technologies doesn't really, grow your career either. I really want to partner where we grow, especially security.
Oh yeah, Shay and I have been trying to talk about our training software. So I was like, we need to figure out how we can. We're 9 years as a company, and I think if we've gone IPO, whatever that looks like, we should be growing, not like having some old systems in place and say we'll make do. If it doesn't broke, why fix it? But that's not the attitude.
No, that doesn't work. I think, Bob, when I was hiring, Bob interviewed me as well. I mean, I see him every day because there's nobody in the office. I'm usually the only one, sits in the corner.
Are you downstairs?
Yeah, I'm downstairs. I sit on Satnam's desk because Satnam doesn't have a desk really. He's in the Tigris. So I'm next to Bob's office, so we normally talk. So his question was that, I've seen you in action for a year. Are you able, to force the cultural change?
Yeah.
And I'm like, trust me, I have a pretty thick skin. But let me, build the trust first. Because you don't want to be this advocating without people know who you are, what your intentions are. We are human beings. We get kind of all of a sudden fear that, hey, what is he doing? Trying to take my job away or something? And that is not it. But I told them none of this happens unless people collaborate and be part of the change.
Exactly.
Right? Not going to tell you, you're going to change this or change that. That doesn't work. I'm the same way. If somebody just walked in without knowing what's going on, tell me, hey, can you change this? I'm like, no, hell no. First ask me, give a question, tell me what I need to change. And that is why.
And I think one of the things, Alex, I struggle with is like, okay, we want to change the system, but there's got to be a project timeline. What happens is when you shrink that timeline and say, I want to get it done in 1 month, unless you have a team that is ready to drop everything and deploy, it's a no.
So there are two aspects. So one is that we always go bring some other people to do it, and they go away. Then not only don't grow our people, but also entire knowledge goes out there. I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
I always say if we want to do it, we're going to do internal people, but with temporary people to do the work we were doing, right? And I think this new project, is a really good opportunity for us.
Yeah.
We have time. We have a 12-month, run it, and I think in end of Q3 because we're still dealing with multiple stuff. In Q4, I think we can start doing, planning, get the vendors, look at what's going to look like.
Yeah.
And then first 10 are people part of the implementation of the tool we choose.
Yeah.
Because what? You're going to let somebody else to do the work.
And there's going to be nobody who remember. No, and one of the things we were trying to deploy a new software. I know, sorry, David, it's a different conversation. But we were trying to deploy a new software called 3E. And thank God I have Abhinesh, Abhinesh from he's I think IT.
Yeah.
He's been helping me. But I was like, Avinash, without him, I would not be able to figure out how many different platforms am I supposed to go to actually make an implementation.
Yeah.
You've got software assessment, you got this, and I'm trying to explain it to people. Then I got legal team, and I was like, I understand, but I don't feel like we have a flow of how we do things.
Trust me, I tried to buy a browser, nothing important, right? A browser, safe browser. We have been with Italy and legal stuff with privacy for almost 3-4 months, and finally I told Abraham and Bob, this doesn't work. We cannot really take 4 months to see what tool we want to buy.
Yeah.
I want to evaluate the tools to see what it is. If they have enough controls in place, because they don't have it, then we can work with the vendor to I don't want to use the usability, because there
people
were some
get tired. Nobody's going to want to do it.
And I encourage you and the rest of the facilities team, anytime you run into issues, just come to me, because now help desk, platform, shop, and IT team, they all report to me.
Okay.
So
I would really appreciate. I feel like Avinash has been really helpful. Honestly, I don't think I would have been able to do what I did with this launch, because it was a nightmare for me to.
But that's our job, to make sure you're successful, right?
I was like, how many systems do I have to go justify all this? And he was able to use Jira and kind of like talk about a project plan. We still have work to do, but we're on track, and I kind of meet with him every week, kind of like, hey, what do we need? Like, I'm about to be setting out a PO right now. And I was like, okay, now next is talking about project launch. So it takes time, but we need it's not like if I asked you to do health and safety, you'd be like, that's not my job. It's the same thing when somebody puts all of that IT stuff onto a person like me and say, oh, you have to now figure out. And I'm like, how many people am I going to talk to figure this out? Not that it's difficult, but it shouldn't be this difficult.
So I have been really fortunate. So, just a lot of people don't know this. I used to be an architect. I used to design buildings. I used to design commercial buildings, actually. So it helped me a lot. Then I got to computer science. In my first job, company was growing very quickly. We had to build building. We bought a big land to build campus. So I became part of, all that process, right? To design, because, we have architect firms back there, but being in the company, understanding how company works,
exactly.
It's all about the usability. So in field of companies, I had the what we call workplace services, and in a modern language or facilities actually worked for me as well. So the whole idea was that, in past 10, 12 years, security and facility become more and more actually
intertwined,
and also when when Julie was here, Julie and I were working to see how we can bring the whole workplace experience. We build something that your computer using experience, the first thing you come to work, your access to the gym, you go to, to second floor, you do conference room, they're all same experience.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have the conference room is a good example. I want this conference room to be a project that we work with facilities and workplace, very closely, right? You have a lot of experience. We are more tech. I don't want to throw a very, complex. And what happened? I ended up hiring somebody and put it into facility team, the workplace team, that where, they know how to set up the conference room, how to troubleshoot. Then they didn't have to, this is what they own, They make sure conference rooms are all clean, they're organized. In the COVID days, we had to, make sure everything is cleaned up and there is no. So I'm like, there is a lot of ways that IT and facilities and security work together a lot closer. And I really want to, take the separation of our teams, where, HR and facilities and IT work a lot closer together. One team, right?
I've always worked with HR folks, right? And IT, EHS, facilities, IT, HR, I feel like they all just sit together.
It is,
always,
absolutely. I think we should sit together,
right?
Honestly.
It's always that same group of people that people are coming to these people for all their experience, right?
So this was the whole, I talked to Allison, we are going to have, in the new location, we are going to have one single service desk.
Yeah.
When the people go there, there will be a representative from IT, facilities, and HR over there. Then they get that is how the
Exactly. That's how it should be, technically.
You go to hospital, you have an appointment desk here, billing desk here, insurance, verification, and that is how it has to be. People don't go across different buildings.
I know. I don't know where they sit. I don't know where these people. Yeah, It'll be interesting. I'd love to work with you more.
Cool.
And even Danny, with what recommendations you have, it's not, this is how we've been functioning. It doesn't mean that that's how we should continue to function. If there are good practices, learning.
And there's whole, I said, tech and, process enhancement we need to do anyways. Let's see what the gap it is.
Yeah. And then we'll go from there.
Do you go to RTP at all or no?
No, I went once. Because Shay is there, I don't go to RTP.
Yeah.
But
Shay comes here too sometimes, isn't
he
it?
used to when I first started.
Who's Shay? I'm sorry.
Shay Wingate is my manager.
Oh, that gentleman?
Yeah.
You talking about
The RTP,
That's-
he is in RTP.
I thought that was Prob. Maybe I got the name.
Pavel,
No,
Pavel
Pavel is
is
manager.
Shay's boss.
Yeah.
Got it.
Pavel is
And Pavel reports to Paul, right?
Pavel reports
Yeah, yeah.
to no Andrew Crenshaw.
Oh, that's so
And
because
Andrew
of that
reports.
site.
Yeah. And Andrew reports. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I'll be in RTP again next week
Okay.
because we have an ET meeting. So Satnam, myself, and Abhi will be there. But let's document what it is. Don't send anybody. Let's just
And
review
feel
three
free,
of us.
like, please talk to me here.
No, I
and
want to make
here.
sure that what we are all aligned.
Yeah,
Look, I
yeah.
don't like the communication to be
Yeah.
not to be collaborated
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
Right.
As soon as we are on the same page, then when I'm in RTP, I'll have Shay,
Yeah.
and you and
Yeah.
me and
Sounds
you.
good.
Yeah.
So Alec, in terms of next step, should I just? I'm thinking, let me assess the doc, analyze it, and make some recommendation. Maybe consolidate it. Do you think that's the right approach?
But it doesn't matter. Just let's see what the gap it is. I don't want to jump ahead of it.
Yeah. I don't want to make changes.
No changes, no
We-
changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
And then
for
let's review
documentary,
three of
let's-
us again. I prefer we have at least when I go to that meeting. I don't want to where Shay is disconnected.
Yeah, I see.
You are on the same
Exactly.
page. I want to make sure we get this first cut.
Right.
And-
And we use the same security company.
Yeah.
So Shay writes half the policies of all this stuff. So I would highly recommend Shay be in the loop for
No,
any
absolutely,
security
yeah.
related. Even though I manage the site security here, overall security still
No, we have
falls
to
under
make sure
Shay.
we are.
Exactly.
You, Shay, you need to be in the same
Same
page as
page,
well. Then
exactly.
we don't have to. This is
Yeah.
why we are doing everything.
I highly
differently.
doubt he knows that physical security funds.
I have told him. I don't think he kind of
Remember maybe
so
because
he
I
knows,
never
yeah.
heard it
No.
from him. So
No, I told Powell that physical security lies under CISO, Chief Security Officer, which is Satnam. Is
Okay.
our-
Right.
So
I know.
physical security is part of his role as well.
my fiance is into cybersecurity,
Yeah.
but he does it for a financial firm. So
Okay, yeah. But
so he talks about all the cybersecurity stuff and
yeah, even
what's-
for them, I used to work for. I used to consult for a company that they do the whole stock trading.
Oh,
and-
and they have high security because
And
it's
in
again
the
a lot
old
of
days,
money.
actually, a week that I was off on a vacation, this guy in San Francisco, in California, came and shot a bunch of people because stock market had crashed, and this guy had lost a lot of money. He was angry. He came in the 101 California, shot a bunch of people to begin with. So since then, this is why this whole active shooting and all
Yeah,
this stuff.
exactly. You remember YouTube in San Bruno?
Yeah. Exactly.
That was like 5 years, at least 5 years ago. That
I
was
think it's way more than 5.
before the pandemic.
Yes, way before
Yeah.
pandemic because that's when we
It
had.
is. This thing happened.
Because YouTube active shooter is when we kicked off all the active shooter
Yeah.
training from the SWAT team and everything. So
Yeah.
2018, I want to say 2017 or 18.
Even my kid, got trained every year. Gets in active shooters, in school.
Kids-
Just think
Kids
about
in
it.
school,
Yeah.
they have been prepared way better than all of us have been
Yeah,
prepared
yeah,
because of all the
exactly.
school shootings. But
Kids are more educated than
exactly.
adults. What can I say?
Well, thank you so much,
You're
Alex.
welcome.
Thank you, Alex, for
All right,
stopping
thank
by.
you.
I hope that I
Danny.
was helpful, Danny.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, very helpful me a lot. He's got a lot of context, right?
Yeah. And just let me know. We'll go from there and see what needs to be done next steps. We'll get in.
At this, he didn't tackle you,
Who did that? You mean? No, no. She's great. You're the first person I met on the first day. Okay, so I just look at those docs and
Yeah.
I'll do some analysis and I'll just
Yeah.
just you and me. I guess,
Yeah.
For now,
That's
right?
fine.
Yeah.
Just talk to me. Let me know, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, Alex, I'm not here to change anything. I'm just here to understand.
Yes, and that's fine. I mean, if we have to make changes, we'll make it. I just need to know what a
Yeah.
timeline looks like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Thank you
Danny.
so
Take
much.
care.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.